Hi there, we're the McNugget Buddies.
We're here to warn you that tonight's review is very scary. It features violence, gore, and adult situations.
So if you're under the age of 12, you probably shouldn't watch this one without permission from your legal guardian.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Happy Halloween!
Oh shit! No!
What? You want me to review your movie? Alright, I guess. You could've just asked, you know. Hi, I'm Dad, and welcome to Billy's VHS tapes. Today we're reviewing 1978's Halloween, an independent horror film that kicked off the slasher boom in the 1980s. Let's do some fun facts. The movie was directed by John Carpenter, who also wrote the movie along with Deborah Hill. The movie only took 10 days to write. The movie was shot in May and was edited and ready for theaters by October 25th. While writing the script, Carpenter got inspiration from old suburban ghost stories. You know, those old stories about your neighborhood, about that one block with that one house that you refused to walk past because you heard somebody was murdered there. Carpenter wanted the movie to make the audience feel the way they do when you have no choice but to speed walk past that house. He also visited a sanitarium, where he met a young boy that fits the exact description that Loomis uses to describe Michael.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Combining old wives' tales and real-life mental patients gave the writers the perfect recipe to cook up what has been called one of the most influential horror movies of all time. It's even earned a spot in the National Film Registry. Carpenter also wrote the music for the movie, including the iconic theme song. The music in the movie is almost half the reason that it's so scary. It really makes you feel tense and nervous. The movie was produced on a very thin budget, which means that most of the props and clothes used on set were brought from home by actors and producers. Some of the props were made on the set of filming, including Michael's mask, which everyone already knows that Michael's mask is just an altered version of the old Captain Kirk mask. The movie stars Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nancy Kyes, PJ Soles, and 2 different actors as Michael, Nick Castle and Tony Marone. Having more than one person play Michael added to the idea that he is evil incarnate, taking on the shape of a man. I'm a man! Michael has become an icon because people are weirdly obsessed with serial killers.
Stop it. Get some help.
His face can be seen in many different forms of media, including comic books, action figures, and video games. This movie is also a victim of what I like to call sequel syndrome. The Halloween franchise might have one of the worst cases of sequel syndrome I've ever seen. The movie spawned a combination of 13 sequels, reboots, and 1 unrelated spin-off. Halloween 2 took place the same night as the first movie, and we find out that Laurie is Michael's sister, and Michael has to kill her because evil Halloween reasons? Halloween 3 was intended to be a spooky new chapter in what John Carpenter wanted to be an anthology of horror films titled Halloween. He wanted each movie to feature a new spooky story centered around Halloween. But with Michael becoming such an icon, audiences were very disappointed when he didn't show up in the movie. And the cameo on the TV does not count. I don't care. Halloween 3 sucks. Fight me. I'm already dead. Halloween 4, 5, and 6 saw the return of Michael. But we also saw that Hollywood just couldn't make up their minds on what they wanted Michael's backstory to be and his future to be. And then for Halloween 7, they got Jamie Lee Curtis to come back. She agreed to return as Laurie, but only if she could kill off Michael for good this time. Spoilers, she doesn't. And in Halloween 8, Michael is resurrected and given his own webcam show. And then they let Rob Zombie make his shitty remakes. And then fast forward to 2018, where Danny McBride rewrote the entire history of the Halloween franchise. The events of Halloween 2 through 8 never happened. And through a series of 3 more movies, we see that Michael and Laurie are no longer related. Michael has been locked up for 40 years, and Laurie has become a crazy hermit that swears Michael is coming back. The Halloween franchise might be even more muffled than the Star Wars franchise.
My.
And the sequels are just mindless violence and gratuitous nudity to get cheeks and seats. You know, popcorn flicks. But the original movie is a real nail-biter that keeps you on the edge of your seat. And it spawned many tropes that we still see in horror movies today. The movie cost $300,000 to make, and it brought in over $70 million at the box office. I enjoy this movie a lot. The title says it all, you know? Halloween time comes around, and then you watch Michael put some holes in people. Yes, I see the irony. Please shut up. So without further ado, let's watch it.
And now, our feature presentation.
The movie opens in 1963. It's Halloween night in Haddonfield, Illinois. We see a POV shot of a figure approaching a house. The unknown figure spies on some randy teens as they make their way upstairs. After the male teenager leaves, the figure then grabs a very big kitchen knife and a clown mask. And upstairs, he begins to murder the female teenager. The killer then makes their way outside, where he's revealed to be 6-year-old Michael Myers. And the teenager he murdered, that was his older sister.
It's messed up. Where's your sister?
15 years later, we're introduced to Dr. Sam Loomis. Loomis is a child psychologist who's been studying Michael's behavior patterns to try to figure out what drove him to murder his sister. But studying Michael has been no easy task, especially because Michael hasn't said a word since that Halloween night in 1963. Loomis believes that Michael also died that night in 1963, and now something has taken on his shape. Michael has become the embodiment of all that is evil and not good. You know that guy your parents told you would come after you if you didn't behave?
I don't have parents.
And it's actually very fitting because Michael only seems to target teens that get involved with drinking, smoking, and premarital sex. It sounds like Michael just hates having fun. But Michael is now 21 years old, and since very little progress has been made with his case, the state decides that it's time for him to be moved from the sanitarium to the penitentiary. Loomis plans on overseeing Michael's transport, but upon his arrival, he finds out that Michael has escaped. Michael then attacks Loomis and his nurse, stealing their car and making his way back to Haddonfield. What happens when the boogeyman comes to town? You get a f***ing axe in your head. That's what happens. The next morning in Haddonfield, we see teenager Laurie Strode making her way to school. She's joined by young Tommy Doyle, and the two of them drop off a key at the old Myers house. Because Laurie's dad plans on selling it.
Bitch, get off my porch.
And Michael is so upset about Laurie trespassing on his porch that he decides to follow her to school.
Yeah, I know it was you.
While Michael stalks the local teens, we cut to Loomis, who is making his way to Haddonfield. He's pulled off on the side of the road to call his superiors on a payphone.
A what?
He's hot on Michael's trail. As Loomis leaves the scene, the camera pans over, and we see that Michael has claimed this year's first victim. That's right, I'm doing a kill count for this movie. Shout out to James, Chelsea, Zoran, and the rest of the Dead Meat crew. Please don't sue me. We cut to the end of the school day, where we see Lori walking home with her two best friends, Annie and Linda. Annie and Linda have plans to celebrate Halloween by getting laid. And Smarty Pants Lori has plans to babysit.
Say hello to your friends. Babysitter's club.
But their walk home is interrupted by Michael's stalking.
Hey, jerk! Speed kills!
What did you say, bitch?
Hey, Lori, isn't that your brother? No, Danny McBride said that's not canon anymore. Oh, look, he's folding the sheets.
Annie and Lori get baked on their way to babysit, unaware that they are being followed by Michael. We then cut to the cemetery, where we see Loomis looking for the grave of Michael's sister. He finds her burial spot, but the gravestone is missing. Loomis then links up with the local sheriff, and they begin to investigate Michael's house. Loomis is having a hell of a time getting people to believe what Michael is capable of, but they're about to find out the hard way.
You better watch out, you better not fall, you better run fast, or you'll cut off your balls. Here comes Michael Myers, right now.
Halloween is in full swing. We see trick-or-treaters out collecting candy, while Michael continues to stalk the teens. After a while, Annie gets Lori to take over her babysitting duties so she can go get a treat from her boyfriend. But before she can even back out of the garage, Michael pops out of the back seat and strangles her to death.
And you were worried about getting killed by someone speeding. You dumb bitch.
Out front, we see Linda and her boyfriend Bob pull up looking to party, but the place is empty and all the lights are out. Oh well, time to
You guys trying to get stabbed?
After some premarital sex, Bob makes his way downstairs to get some beers, but he has a run-in with Michael and gets turned into a piece of wall art. Michael then adorns Bob's glasses and a sheet, appearing like a ghost in front of Linda. And after Linda calls Lori, Michael proceeds to strangle her with a telephone cord. Lori is the only teen left, and she's unsure if that phone call she just got from Linda was her being horribly murdered or her orgasming. Lori decides to head across the street to check on her friends. Upstairs, she's greeted by Annie's corpse and the gravestone of Michael's sister. She then finds Linda and Bob's bodies. And after Michael tries to stab her, she falls down the stairs.
Push her down the stairs.
Push it down the stairs.
Lori runs back across the street, but the window was left open, giving Michael an easy into the house.
Art, I don't want to alarm you, but there may be a boogeyman or boogeymen in the house!
In an effort to stop him, Lori stabs Michael in the neck with a knitting needle. As he lays on the ground lifeless, we see outside that Loomis has made his way to the danger zone. And just in time too, because Michael is back on his feet.
I'm on my feet and every ounce of me wants to get some killing done.
He corners Lori in a closet, and as he waves his kitchen knife around trying to kill her, Lori uses a wire hanger to stab him in the eye, causing him to drop his knife, which Lori then grabs and uses to stab him in the gut.
It's finally over.
That's what you think.
Michael attacks Lori, again, and this time in the process, she rips off his mask, revealing his face. Other than the stab wound in his eye, Michael's face is nothing out of the ordinary. I always thought this was Carpenter's way of saying spooky things may go bump in the night, but humans are much more frightening than monsters. As Michael reapplies his face, Loomis shows up and shoots him 6 times. Loomis and Lori think that Halloween night has come to an end, but when Loomis goes to check the spot where Michael landed, he sees that he's vanished. Lori cries in terror, knowing that the boogeyman is still out there. The movie ends the same way it opened, with a shot of Michael's house, with his heavy breathing in the background. And that's it! That's Halloween from 1978, a classic low-budget slasher flick that made everyone believe that they could make a horror movie as long as they had enough fake blood and a set of tits. Do I recommend it? recommend this movie for horror fans. It's a staple of the genre, and without it, we wouldn't have a lot of the other classics that we have today. And if you're not a big horror fan and you just like to indulge in the spooky stuff around Halloween time, then I highly recommend you check this one out. I mean, it's called Halloween. And if you've never seen this movie before, I highly recommend that you watch this movie and none of the other ones. This movie's great. And the sequels and the reboots and the spin-off, they just all kind of ruin the ambiguousness of the ending, you know what I mean? I would honestly envy you for not being cursed with the knowledge of knowing that they remade this movie 11 more times. But I will admit, it is fun to marathon these movies and watch them slowly get worse as you progress through them. As I said before, Michael has become an icon, and he's still inspiring silent killers in movies today, such as Art the Clown from Terrifier. And it's nice to see slashers making a comeback, because personally, it's my favorite genre of horror. What do you think of this movie? Do you think it's slasherific, or is it DOA? Post a comment below telling me your thoughts, or post a comment on one of my social media pages. Well, that's my review. What'd you think, Mikey? Is this my life now? Like an undead zombie that reviews movies? Because honestly, that wouldn't be too much of a change from the life I already live right now.
Hello there, neighbor. Time to get some killing done.
Mamma mia! Ow, 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 ow! Hey, it's me, Goku!
You have a collect call from... Will you accept the stabbing?
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Trick or treat, man. Now make with the candy.
You little bastard!
Do it! Do it!
Come on, kill me! I'm here! Do it now! Kill me!
You son of a bitch!
Hasta la vista, baby.
I'm so happy you stopped by today. I hope you have a very happy Halloween.
I'll get you next year.